Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Your Football show, and it's time for your Leeds versus Brentford pre-match chat. It's Judgment Day, people. It's the day of reckoning. It is upon us, and we will find out our Premier League fate. I'm saying it like giggly and all that sort of stuff because I'm bricking it. I'm so nervous. Some will say we're already down, but we have seen stranger things happen on final days. Yeah. There's the top of the table to be decided, and of course there's that final relegation spot to be decided between us and Burnley. Frank Lampard's Everton secured safety last night. Fair play to Everton. You know my feelings on Frank, but fair play to Everton. It's now between us and Burnley in a straight shootout. And of course, you would argue we have the more difficult task on the final day. Burnley are at home. We go away to Brentford, which isn't a happy hunting ground for us. Well, at least the old ground, Griffin Park, wasn't a happy hunting ground for us. This is different. Of course, we have to take the positives. I look for the positives. Yeah. I'm looking for any which way I can get a positive because there ain't that many. Let me tell you that. But we have to, because that's all we have in football is belief, hope. That's all we have, hoping and praying. Yeah. Look, the facts are Opta, their predicted finish model ahead of this final round has Leeds United with an 84.2% chance of relegation. I've just listened to Jesse's press conference and he's talking about winning the game, and it dawned on me, like, even if we win the game, it's still not enough, man. If Burnley win, of course. Last night was vital, wasn't it? Nick Pope, some amazing saves. Could well have kept Burnley in the Premier League. But on the flip side, Tyrone Mings with his amazing block could have kept us in the Premier League if Burnley cannot win. And look, Burnley's record against Newcastle isn't the best. If you look at the last 4 meetings, they've failed to win a game. You know, so there is hope. And we have to just hope that, you know, our boy Pontus helps us out. You know, Thomas Frank forgives us for the mind the gap chance. You know what I mean? It was all in jest, Thomas. Do you know what I mean? If you're watching this, please help a brother out. Pontus, put it in the back of your own net. Just do something. You know, like I say, historically, this fixture, it's not on our side. You know, we haven't won in 11 away games against Brentford, right? A run that dates back to August 1950, okay? At that time, we picked up a 2-0 victory at Griffin Park in Division 2. This is what we're talking about, historical settings. But you have to remember that it's no longer at Griffin Park. It no longer is in that same setting, you know? And look, they're not a vociferous crowd, are they? The noise is going to be brought by Leeds United. It just seemed to have a hoodoo over us. But this is a new setting, a new ground. A new Leeds United. I'm clutching. You have to. I think, look, Jesse Marsh was clutching in his pre-match press conference. I don't think Patrick Bamford makes it. I think the club know Patrick Bamford aren't making it. They're saying he's been out on the grass. He's looked good this week, but today he had a day off. Unless he's Ledley King, that tells me something's not right. You know, unless he's got Ledley King vibes and he's allowed days off just to make sure he's right. I don't think Bamford's anywhere near it. We find out Bill Ayling's had to go for an operation as well. So it turns out he's been carrying an injury for a while. And Jesse spoke about players being excited. Let's hope they have the right mentality for it, because we need them to. We need them to have the right mentality for this fixture. Because, as I say, it's one that I'm bricking it for. Because, look, truth be told, that football works in cycles, right? We had our laugh at Derby. They had their laugh at us. It came back to bite them. We had our laugh at Brentford. They're going to have their laugh at us. Look, Brentford fans, to a man, every one of them want to send Leeds United down. 100%. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them. Enjoy it. But hopefully it doesn't happen. You know, hopefully it doesn't happen. Because look, Facts are, if we're in the Championship, we're in the Championship. Jesse Marsh spoke about contingency plans, and the club have got 2 scenarios and they're prepared for each. So they should. He's not been involved in them conversations. Maybe that's why they wanted Jesse in, so they could do it and not have to, confront the big man like they used to do with Bielsa and just give him the players that he works with. But for me, if we go down, I'd like to see a change anyway, because I'm not sure I'm getting enough from the coach that's in there currently. People disagree, and that's fine. That's your prerogative. I'd switch it up. I'd go Corberan. But Jesse said he's going to be here. Jesse's going to be here. That's fine. You have to back it. Yeah? Don't have to be happy, but you have to back it. He did speak about focusing on set pieces during his press conference. He said they're great from set pieces. We had a set piece day, he said. Again, these are things that I'm thinking just don't talk out loud about. Because straight away my head went, watch us concede a set piece in the first 10 minutes. No, I was throwing a rod for his own back. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but he spoke about having to stop Christian Eriksen. 100%. This guy's come into that side. He's well above Brentford's level. I think Conte wants him at Spurs even, or it's been mentioned. I think, does he leave Brentford? I don't know. All I know is he's going to be facing us at the weekend, and we cannot let him dictate this game. Calvin has to have a barnstormer. I'd even advocate putting him on a man marking job on Christian Eriksen and trying to stay as close as possible to him, because we can't have him, in space and finding the likes of Tony, Visser, and Mbuemo in between, in behind our fullbacks who, Junior Firpo left back, not great. Robin Koch's not a right back. You know what I mean? Visser's been in hot form of late after starting the season, not great. So, we just can't let Eriksen dictate. And of course, like Jesse mentioned, the set pieces, we need to be good at them. They've had a set piece day. They've looked at videos. They've worked on the training pitch. So best believe they best not be conceding from a set piece at the weekend, regardless of how good they are. If you spent a whole day on that, you best not be, conceding a set piece, no matter how good Tony is in the air, no matter how good Eriksen's delivery is. Do you know what I mean? Because Premier League survival depends upon it. Premier League survival depends upon it. And look, the frustrating thing is we could win this game 3-0 and have an amazing performance, and it still might not be enough. But we have to put ourselves in the best possible place to do it. And hopefully Jesse's got them ready. Look, at the end of the day as well, we might only need a point. We might only need a point. I said in the lead up to this game that I've been saying for weeks, people who watch my show regularly, that the average points needed to stay up is 35.7. Us and Burnley are still on 35. I said, let's get to 36 and assess where we're at. It might be that we get to 36 and that's enough. And Newcastle beat Burnley and we can get a point. But we need to go for the jugular and we need to go for the win. I don't want to be seen as sitting in, because I just think we'll just invite it on. We'll just invite it on. How I expect us to line up, as I say, Melly in goal, I think it'll be unchanged, to be honest. Koch at right back, Llorente, Cooper, Firpo left back, KP and Click. Then you will have Rafa, Rodrigo, Harrison and Joffe. And we've got to play Rafa and Harrison wide. It's going to be Rafinha's last game for us, regardless. It could be a lot of these players' last game for us if we go down, of course. But I think, Rafinha, regardless of what happens, we know he's going. I believe as well that KP is going to go to City. Looks like that could be happening. We've seen him say goodbye last week. So it's going to be his last game as well. So hopefully, we can utilise these players to their best abilities like we did against Brighton. And we got a positive result, a positive-ish result by getting a point, kept us still in the hunt. And that was when Rafinha was playing wide. That was when KP had a little bit more space within which to move in. So we have to utilise them same tactics on Sunday 100%. And just the opposite number, Brentford, of course, we'll speak a little bit on them. Pontus Jansson coming up against us. He's been vital for them this season. I think he's played the most games, and there were question marks over whether he could do it in the Premier League. Well, he's certainly shown that he can. And Christian Norgard in front of them as well, in front of that back four, has played really well. I think Ethan Pinnock will be out, so the centre-back partnership will be Jansson and Sorensen. I'm really worried about the width with which they'll play with. Of course, Aya, who's predominantly a centre-back, I believe, but he's been playing at right-back, and Rico Henry at left-back could cause us all sorts of problems. And then to further add to that, the two at either side of Tony, you have Mbuemo and Visser, they're going to cause us all sorts of problems down the wings, I think, with how narrow we tend to play. So we need to make sure that, Koch and Firpo are protected. We don't want to be finding scenarios like we did against Brighton, where McAllister or Solly March found themselves in the box, no one in between them, because there was no communication between Cooper and Firpo. One was stepping out, one was staying in, and they were just getting put straight in. Because no, if that's Ivan Toney, it's going in the back of the net. Visser's in great form, and we know how good and Mbeumo can be from that, from time in the Championship. They're going to keep the ball so well, try to play through us. And you've got Ericsson in their side. With Ericsson in your side, you've always got a chance. I'm worried about the tie. I am. They have nothing to worry about. They're going into the final day in happy mood. Brentford want to probably show up and put in a good performance for their fans, much like what Leeds did against West Brom in the final day last season. It was a party atmosphere, as much party as you can get with COVID going on. And it's up to our players to show up for that. They're in party mode. Yes, there's no pressure, but what we have to remember, if there's a 50-50 to be won, if there's that little bit of overexertion needed to get to a ball, Leeds United should be the ones winning that, because they're the ones that need to stay in the division. Brentford can take it or leave it. They can take their foot off. They're thinking about their holidays, but it's whether or not our players have the mental fortitude to be able to cope with that, because Brentford can play with the shackles off a little bit. Leeds United have that pressure. We know this squad, Leeds in general, don't do well in the pressure situations. It's a known thing, So we have to, we have to change that. We have to change that narrative. We have to change that narrative. Yeah, and as I said, Thomas Frank's been saying, look, I think Leeds are one of the biggest clubs in the country. They should be in the Premier League with their story, their history, and hopefully he remembers that at the weekend. He says, I can't say I want them more than Everton or Burnley, but, they need to fight for it. And that's where we come back to that mentality thing. Leeds United players need to be ready to fight for this. Because, look, I said it against Brighton. If at the end of the season it comes down to you not winning away at Brentford, then you don't deserve to be up. The point I'm making, this is no disrespect to Brentford. It's a very difficult place to go. Very, very difficult place to go. Look, Brentford are in excellent form. They've only tasted defeat in 2 of their last 10 games. And they've also kept four successive clean sheets at home. And that included teams like Spurs and West Ham, difficult teams to play against. So, I'm under no illusion that this is going to be a difficult game. We know our record against Brentford. They're in great form, party season, staying up, loving it, absolute vibes. But ultimately, if it comes down to, let's say, Burnley lose or draw, and we can't beat Brentford away, then we don't deserve to stay up. And I'm not saying, because they're poor. That's not what I'm saying, But we're not playing City here. City going for the title. We're not playing Liverpool. Liverpool going for the title. We're away at Brentford. So we have to try and we have to win the game. Facts. We have to win the game. And if, come full time, we needed to win to stay in the division and we failed to do it, you don't deserve to be here. We have a good nucleus of players. We have some standouts. They need to come to the fore. We've got some young, exciting talent. It's a chance for them to shine. Players like Rodrigo, I've said I would, gladly drive him to where he wants to go. He has a chance to rip up all that's come before. And make yourself a hero tomorrow, on Sunday. Make yourself a hero. Now is the time. It's do or die. There's no time for, no weak mentality, none of that. It's do or die. It's Judgment Day. It's the day of reckoning. And these players need to come to the fore and win this game of football for us. And look, we've just lost 1 of our last 4 on the road now, winning 2 and drawing 1. Yeah. So we have an okay record away from home recently. Yeah. We have an okay record against Brentford recently. We haven't lost in 3 against them. Yeah. And that included a trip down there where Cooper got us an equaliser after a Kiko Howell. That was in the Championship where we needed to win as well after going on like a 10-game winless run. So we've done it down there in pressure situations before. But look, Brentford have been scoring a lot of goals of late, having seen more than 2.5 goals in 4 of their last 5 games. And it's in Leeds United to concede first, We've got no clean sheet in 4. I do think we will concede first because it's the Leeds United way. but I think we'll come back, and I'm praying and hoping for a win. But I do think we get at least a point. I don't see a scenario where we lose. I don't. It's going to be tough, but I just think with everything riding on it, we'll get at least a point. Whether or not that's enough, we'll have to wait and see. It will get a win. Whether or not it's enough, we have to wait and see. That's the thing. It's not in our hands. But I do think we will go down. I do think they will score first, but we'll come back. We'll come back. It's going to be either 1-1 or 2-1. And look, I have to go for a Leeds United win. I have to throw all my eggs in that basket, and hopefully we can have an amazing final day. One that will go down in history as one of our greatest times, like Joffrey might score a last-minute winner or something. You know? That's the way we have to look at it. Hoping and praying. Sunday, yeah, pray to your deities, all that jazz, because the day of reckoning is here, and hopefully Leeds United can come out the other side ready for a new season in the Premier League, or, you know, the other alternatives back down there in the mire. Is what it is. Listen, I hope you enjoyed the preview. I'll be back tomorrow night for a preview with some fellow Leeds United content creators. We'll be doing a Premier League preview tonight as well. And then, of course, we've got the watch along on Sunday, so keep it locked as per. I hope you enjoyed the preview. Let me know your score predictions, thoughts ahead of this one, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.